Testing, testing, testing. Can you hear me? Let's see here. Can you hear me now? Do we have fire? Woohoo! That'll work. Thanks, guys. I apologize. I'm not exactly the smartest guy in the world. I'm half a crayon eater, so I figured I was going to make a video today. A lot of people out of work, so they can watch this orphan stuff. If you got any questions, I don't necessarily am going by a script today. So if you got a question about the commission site, feel free to ask, and I'll show you real quick. I figure we'll go about 30 minutes. I'm taking a small lunch break from work. So, anyways, if you watched the last one, we went to the orphan wells, and then I went to District 3. Let's get on back here. Went to District 3, gas wells, and I haven't looked at any of these, so you're going to watch me look at wells and determine if I have any interest in them. So these are the newest, months inactive, so these are the newest. Now there are laws, if it's more than 2 years of inactivity, you don't pay severance taxes. I think it may have changed, but that is typically the rule. So check with your lawyer, whoever, but you may not have to pay severance taxes, which is awesome. It's kind of the state's way of getting them off the books. Hey, you took a well, they ain't got a plug, so they say, okay, you don't have to pay taxes on them. But let's see here. We've got all these. This one looks interesting. Let's look at this one. I just clicked on the GIS. So this is, oh, former Petrohawk. That's interesting. You can always scroll out here, get an idea of the area. So that's right in Colorado County. Let's see what this bad boy did. Go all the way back. Woo, lordy. It was a biggin. It was a biggin. This is the gas over here. So this is what they made. This is what they sell. This is the operator over here. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an orphan well. This is available. I am showing you live. So if you are around Colorado County, you may want to go over to the courthouse and get some more information on this thing. It clearly dropped down, but I tell you, $6 or $7 a month ain't nothing to get grumpy about. So let's check. Let's see how deep this bad boy is. So here's the well log here. This is a Wilcox, so it's probably pretty deep, if I had to guess. This is all the documents. Now, when it's like 40 like this, the commission site loads kind of slow. So I just sidetrack that, download it, whole document. And there she be. Then you can just run through it real quick. So your completion records will look like this. G1, it's gas. So this thing did over 4.5 million a day on absolute open flow. Of course, this is whoo, that's a deep well. Now, if you're getting started, don't mess with a 15,000-foot well, in my opinion. That's deep. Buddy, that is deep, deep. Man, that's a big well. Go back. And I'm more just kind of showing you what I look at. So automatically, when it's this deep, I say hell no. Bye, Felicia. I ain't messing with you, but we can go through it and kind of look around it. Gas volume, 2,300 MCF there. Now there's an absolute open flow, and then there's what it actually flowed. The calculated absolute open flow right here, AOF, is 4,700. What it actually did was 2,300. There's engineering in that, but just to give you an idea. And then here is the water. It's got a lot of nasties in it. But, wow, very low hydrogen sulfide. H2S gas is nasty. On your first well, stay away from it. Look at, there's a lot of CO2. Methane. All this stuff matters when you're actually selling the gas, because if it's high in nitrogen or carbon dioxide for that matter, you won't get as good of a price. So that's important to note. Just because gas is coming up on $5 doesn't mean you'll get $5 per MCF. So you need to know the gas makeup of the wells. I am going to scroll through this fairly quickly, because if you're just joining, this is a 15,000-foot well, Orphan well, and I'm not messing with it. You shouldn't mess with it either, in my non-official opinion. This is the plat. These are really good with Orphan wells, because a lot of times they'll actually have the landowners and stuff. Now, when you go to the courthouse, typically, and I say typically lightly, you usually can search by the operator and find the documentations. Do not go to the courthouse and try to do it on your own. Get a landman if you don't know what you're doing, because you will screw up probably quicker than you ever thought possible. So landmen are typically $300 or $400 a day. If it's a solid company, like this was Petrohawk, more than likely, up until that point, the title is good. So your landman costs won't be that much, because they just piggyback off that and go to Ford. Because if somebody died and they got 10 heirs, that all gets split up. So the landman has to figure all that. Your ideal orphan has a husband and a wife, and that's it. Like, that's your easy. And they own both the land and the minerals. That's what you want to find. Does it always work like that? No. But if it's a good well, then you can kind of sway your rules, so to speak. All right, let's go look at another one. That looked good until I saw it was 15,000 feet. Being a Wilcox in South Texas, that's usually going to be a deeper deal anyways. Like, here's some Wilcox. Woo, look at that one. 11,000 feet. Stay the hell away from deep wells. If you are new, stay away from them. If you're not new, but never operated before, stay away from them. And then here, as you can see, this bad boy right here, that's a horizontal well. Stay away from horizontals. Let's look at it real quick. This is in the Buddha Zaza Energy. Yeah, that's crap. So the problem with horizontals is it will be a nightmare to plug. EOG resources. So again, it's EOG. So more than likely the title was good up until this point. So your landman only has to make sure that the title from here on is good. So that's always a plus sign to an orphan if it had a legitimate operator. And your landman will tell you too. Like, if there's potential skeletons in the deal, the landman should point that out to you. But again, always get professionals. Landmen, lawyers, accountants, always double check with them. And if you remember, I clicked the natural gas orphans. So that's how we're getting orphans. Here in a second, we will go back and look at oil again. But it's the Austin Chalk, so it's probably 10,000 feet, 11,000 feet, very deep. One thing I will note is in some places it'll label as a natural gas well, but it actually makes really good oil. There are places where it will be under natural gas, but it does make good oil, and that's something you need to think about too. All right, let's go somewhere I know. Let's go look at some oil wells now. I'm going to District 9. If you remember, zoom out here. This is my stomping grounds. I like this area right here. This is my favorite area. A lot of shallow production, really good gravities, 32, 35 and up. And you don't have a lot of H2S. You also don't have big shell plays right here, eating up cost, making everything expensive. So I basically go from around, say, Brownwood down here, Abilene, and all the way up to Wichita Falls, back to Fort Worth. So just that box right there. But let's go look at some stuff. Crank it down. Once inactive. Here is the KMA. That's actually three guys' names. It is not Kiss My Ass. Most guys think it means Kiss My Ass, but it was actually Kirk, somebody, and somebody. Kirk, Mason, and Allen, or some shit like that discovered the field. So I'll go to this one. I've looked at this one before, but it's an interesting one. And also, the state is starting to plug a lot of wells. They're getting more funding to plug. So a lot of these wells, like this is a good little deal here. Like this is straight money. This is a good well. There may be some stuff wrong with it, but it's got a key point, and that's it makes oil. That's very important. You want something that's shown that it's made oil. Go down here if you want, download it, pull this bad boy up. Let's take a look at it. And so here, if I move too fast, my apologies. I've done this a lot if you can't tell already. So where you put my chart? There it is. So what you have here, and give me some room here, but just identifying, it looks like you had a well go down right in here. If you weren't in the oil business around this time, this was a very, very rough period. So right here, this drop, if I had to guess, was probably a well went down. Well went down, everything sucked. Then they got the wells back up. Because if you notice, it's pretty well tracking right here. So more than likely you had mechanical issues and crap. And then, oh shit, oil prices back up. We can afford to fix things. Then it goes up, got pretty high, maybe an acid job, who knows? And then back down, suggesting well problems. And then it's just been crap ever since. But a key factor when oil was 100, this bad boy was cranking. So will it crank that much now? Who knows? And this is I've looked at this stuff a long time. So you got to understand, it's not that simple. But a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But all right, guys. Well, I got to go. I got to get back to work, but I figured I'd let y'all in on the party. Um, this is kind of all over the place. If I do this in the future, I'll have a lot more steady and stable what I'm going to show you. But Labor Day weekend, I'm working, so I figured I'd let you in on some of my work. Y'all have fun. Take it easy.